Boxing. Beats and rhymes.
No one
can do it better.
On the undercard of Denzel Bentley versus Brad Pauls last week, David Adeleye recorded a career best win, winning the English title in 80 seconds, knocking out Solomon Dacus, providing that Moses Itauma takes care of business against Dempsey McKean on the 21st of December next week. On the undercard of Usyk versus Fury 2, the British Boxing Board of Control have ordered the two to fight for the English Championship belt, which Adeleye is now in possession of. In 2025, it's a good fight. Frank Warren has a wealth of riches at heavyweight there. It's a match he should make. And if we're going to get Moses on the cusp of perhaps beating Mike Tyson's record to become the youngest heavyweight champion, this is the type of test he needs at this stage. David Adeleye is now 13 wins, 1 loss, 12 inside the distance. Moses Itauma, 19 years of age, is now 10-0 with 8 inside the distance. Is this a fight you guys would like to see? Frank, get it done. Get it done, Frank. Purse bids are to be in by Wednesday the 8th of January 2025. Won't be much need for purse bids since both fighters are promoted by Queensbury and no one else is going to step in to take that fight.
Boxing. Beats and rhymes.
No one
can do it better.
Oh wow, Uncle Frank won't be pleased, Dennis. Cat flung amongst the pigeons. Big drama before the big show next week. Dennis Mccan, Queensbury, 23-year-old super bantamweight, unbeaten, 16-0, 1 draw, 8 inside the distance, was due to fight Peter McGrail next week on the big Saudi card in Riyadh. The fight will now be cancelled as Dennis has returned an adverse finding following a VADA anti-doping test. His fight with Peter McGrail on next week's Alexander Usyk Tyson Fury 2 undercard has been cancelled as a result. Turki Al-Sheikhi was on it straight away himself, tweeting, "The Voluntary Anti-Doping Association has today informed all relevant parties that Dennis McCann has returned an adverse finding following an anti-doping test conducted in advance of his upcoming bout. Mr. McCann's scheduled fight next Saturday will no longer take place as the relevant parties investigate the matter further. No further comment on this will be made at this time." There's no mention of the substance. All they're saying right now is an adverse finding. I believe this is the first PED case we've had at Riyadh season. Turki Al-Sheikh won't be best pleased. 2 layers of testing on the card. Somebody gets popped by VADA and UCAD, well, where they at? How comes VADA's always picking up the adverse findings and positive tests and UCAD are nowhere to be found? Almost straight after, Conor Benn has been cleared by the NAPD by what a lot of people thought was jurisdiction, but it wasn't. How does the British Boxing Board of Control and UCAD handle this one? Are they going to get involved? Or are they going to do what they did with Billy Joe Saunders? We do not acknowledge VADA testing. It's going to be messy. Stay tuned.
Boxing. Beats and rhymes.
No one
can do it better.
Ben Shalom getting the ball rolling. Yarde Arthur trilogy. This is the rubber match. Ben Shalom has said they have now made an offer to Lyndon Arthur for the Anthony Yarde trilogy. I guess Ben Shalom got off his backside after he saw the video between Tunde Ajayi and Pat Barrett, Lyndon Arthur's coach.
It has to be the rubber match. So rubber match is Lyndon Arthur versus AY versus Lyndon Arthur. I'm ready. Tell your promoter, stop lying, stop ducking, stop dodging. We're ready. I'm not going to never say nothing bad about any promoter anyway, regardless. But this fight can go on misfits. I just see Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, and then there was a real fight on the undercard with Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Call up KSI, Coogan, tell him you got 2 willing and able fighters ready to rock and roll. Any promoter, make history, the storyline's there.
Yeah, Ben better get in there quick, because if you let Tunde get his way, he'll put it on the misfits, and he doesn't care about the purists and real boxing fans saying, "Don't do that, you can't do that." He doesn't care. He wants the biggest platform, he wants the most eyes and attention on the event. And him and Pat seem very keen to get it on. As long as Lyndon and Anthony are on the same wavelength, this is a good fight, very good fight. Anthony Yarde needs to do everything not to get frozen out of the bigger picture. And this fight is a step in the right direction. Nobody can critique this fight. Everybody's been bigging up Liam Cameron, who who drew with Ben Whittaker recently, well, Lyndon Arthur beat Liam Cameron. He beat him. He's the only British fighter to have ever defeated Anthony Yarde. They're one apiece. Tunde and Yarde are adamant that Callum Smith and Joshua Boatsi, who are going to be fighting on February on that big Riyadh season card, where Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker headline, they're saying that Boatsi and Callum Smith ducked the smoke. And they do have a case. Callum Smith did say he was getting married when they had an opportunity to get it on. But then again, Callum was just coming off that beating he took from Beterbiev. He needed longer to rest. I won't call that a duck. But Boatsi, Tunde and Yarde said they were there ready to take the fight. Yarde even fought on a boxer card, but Boatsi went ahead and chose Liam Smith. But I can't take either side at face value because they've both been accusing each other of wanting the bigger slice of the split. And earlier this year, Ben Shalom and Frank Warren had agreed terms to make the fight. But Yarde and Tunde walked away saying they had a contract dispute with Frank Warren over matching rights. And you have to wonder, why didn't you just take that fight and end the contract there? Because now they're even saying they're prepared to work with Frank Warren. So what was that all about? Not taking that fight then. Just fight Boatsi and after that you're a free agent. Ben Shalom, he said that Ben Whittaker is willing to fight Liam Cameron on his return as long as Liam Cameron and Frank Warren are reasonable and don't ask the earth for the rematch. So there's some good stuff happening at light heavy and many, many matchups that can be made. The winner of Cameron and Whittaker, the winner of Yarde, Arthur, the winner of Callum Smith, Boatsi. So light heavy, UK, kind of hot.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
highly ranked super bantamweight contender Molajon AKHMADALIEV headlines on a matchroom card in Monaco tomorrow. He'll be hoping to get a shot at undisputed super bantamweight champion Nayo Inoue. But in an unexpected plot twist, Australia's Sam Goodman, who was due to challenge Inoue for the undisputed super bantamweight titles, was cut in sparring. The fight was supposed to take place on the 24th of December in Tokyo. The Goodman camp are now reportedly asking for the fight to be rescheduled to a later date. And what I say to that is, bullshit! If AKHMADALIEV can get through his defense in Monaco unscathed, forget rescheduling a Goodman fight, right? He was a voluntary. It's time for Inoue to face AKHMADALIEV. That's two ducks. A third is unacceptable. It seems to me after Luis Neri scored that heavy knockdown against Inoue that either he or his team have realized that he is not invincible and they're perhaps trying to get his confidence back before he takes on the heavier lifting, for want of a better quote. I know a lot of his fan base don't want to hear this. Yeah? We're not asking for Inoue to go up and fight Tank or fight at super featherweight or anything like that. Fight your mandatory though. You know, the questions are going to go out there. Should Goodman have been doing heavy sparring so close to a fight? If it was heavy sparring, was he wearing a head guard? What's the deal? Back to the show in Monaco. Also on the card is Beatrice FIERREIRA. If she successfully defends her IBF title against Lucia Bordessa, Eddie Hearn said he plans to make a unification between her and the newly crowned WBO champion, another matchroom fighter, Terry Harper, who in September took the WBO title from Rhiannon Dixon, another matchroom fighter. Eddie feeding Terry Harper to the dogs, eh? Oh dear.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
Nasika Bedarian, the co-founder of MVP, which is Jake Paul's promotional outlet, believes that Jake Paul could be ranked with every sanctioning body. Does Jake Paul deserve to be ranked? What's that based on? Where was Mike Tyson ranked when Jake Paul fought him? Didn't he lose to Tommy Fury? Where's Tommy Fury ranked? If Tommy Fury's not ranked, why would Jake Paul be ranked? Maybe Jake's been a bit more active. But look, let's say he was to get a ranking. Will he be just using it as a marketing tool, or is he going to fight other ranked contenders? Or if one of the cruiserweight champions says, okay, I'll give you a voluntary, is he going to mess around and be dodging and swerving and a lot of boy shit? I couldn't care less if they ranked him anyway. I really couldn't care less. It's up to the sanctioning bodies. Doesn't bother me. I don't get riled up over Jake Paul.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
That's a good one. That's a real good one. Oh, God. I would have to say Tank. Tank on that one. Let's see.
This is confusing from Tim Bradley. The fan asked Tim Bradley who has the better resume out of Devin Haney and Tank Davis, and he says, oh, that's a good one. That's a tough one. I'm going to have to say Tank. Didn't Tim say Tank was a 30-year-old prospect the other day? And Devin has been an undisputed champion in the division that Tank is currently operating in and has a win over Lomachenko. I don't get it. Tim, you got to be more consistent. Got to be more consistent. Is Devin a 26-year-old prospect then? I don't get it. And for the record, in my opinion, Tank has no way got a better resume than Devin. And don't tell me about what Tank did to Ryan Garcia and what Ryan Garcia did to Devin, yeah? Don't even go there.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
Don't call it a comeback!
Is Vladimir Klitschko dead ass about this comeback? He seems to be. And Turki Al-Sheikh, by what I'm hearing, sounds like he wants to assist him on attempting to become the oldest heavyweight champion. Foreman was 46, Vlad is 48. No doubt he's in excellent shape for a 48-year-old. But this is boxing. Last time we saw him in the ring, he contested AJ for 2 straps in what must be one of the best fights at Wembley Stadium. Klitschko was floored in the 5th, AJ floored in the 6th. Klitschko floored twice in the 11th, and AJ finished the job. Vlad retired with 64 wins, 5 losses, and a huge knockout percentage of 55 inside the distance. He's still in great shape for a 48-year-old, no doubt. He boxed really well against Anthony Joshua. Will he be able to retain the same type of speed he displayed in 2016 and previously when he reigned for 10 years as unified champion? Will his punch resistance be any better? He hasn't been known for having the greatest punch resistance at 48. Something tells me Vlad would rather get the opportunity against Daniel Dubois than Alexander Usyk. Is he planning just to walk into a title shot? He could do it if Turkey is backing his bid to become champion again. Turkey will just pay whoever Vlad is targeting with a belt stupid money and the fight will happen. I have a feeling he might like to fight Tyson Fury as well, because Tyson Fury's legs are nowhere near where they were when Tyson relieved him of 3 titles in 2015. There was a rematch clause in Tyson's contract, but that fight never happened for reasons you probably know. I think Vlad would still like some get back. I believe Usyk will be his least favoured option. There's a rumoured sparring session where Usyk made a fool of him, and this is before Vlad lost to Tyson Fury. I'm just going to gauge what I've seen about the boxing world's response to this potential comeback. It's been lukewarm. I believe it's one of them stories they hope will just fade away into 2025. He wasn't very popular as a champion. The fight against AJ, even though a losing effort, was one of his most popular periods he experienced in the Western world as a fighter. The fight trended, it was big news, it was entertainment. But for the most part, when he reigned as a 10-year champion, he wasn't very popular. And, it wasn't like, it hasn't been like there's people saying, yes, Vladimir's coming back. I'm just keeping it real. He also had a rematch clause with Anthony Joshua, which he didn't exercise, but it looks like he's timing his comeback to try and beat Foreman's record. We'll see.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
Now, I was trying to work this one out. American boxer who battled Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury now fights for Putin. Kevin Kingpin Johnson, who has fought the likes of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and Daniel Dubois, has relaunched his career in Russia, having thrown his support behind Vladimir Putin. Kevin, from New Jersey in America, he debuted in 2003. He fought Vladimir Klitschko in 2009 for the WBC title and took him the distance, took Daniel Dubois the distance, took Andy Ruiz the distance, took Tyson Fury the distance, Anthony Joshua being the first man to stop him. Now, 45, he's still fighting and was granted Russian citizenship by Putin earlier this year, exercising a decree that has allowed actors like Steven Seagal to become a Russian citizen. Johnson has also adopted the name Kevin Vladimirovich, having registered with the military, a requirement under Russian law. He invited a magazine who he was doing an interview with to attend his conscription to the military He arrived in full military dress and joked that I thought they was going to hand me a gun today. Yes, Officer Vladimirovich, I am ready, he joked. In August 2023, shortly after his move to Russia, he arrived at the weigh-in ahead of his fight against Mark Pedrovsky, wearing a t-shirt with Putin's face emblazoned across the front, referring to it as a sign of respect. Putin in Russia is the president. He is the chief commander. He stands for his country, is what Kevin Kingpin Johnson said. He added, it's all about ingredients. Life is ingredients, and the ingredients in Russia are abundant. They make a good recipe.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Only a few will understand and appreciate what's about to happen.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one
Can do it better.